Publishing of comic books. After the development of daily newspapers, a new important segment of readership was reached through comic books. The comic book became for many a new form of entertainment, a way of making reading interesting, and an innovative way of educating young people. The golden age of comics began in the late 1930s and went through to the early 1950s. It was during this time that the comic books were first published and gained increased popularity. This era saw the creation of the archetype of the superhero, a person with superhuman powers who fought for the benefit of all, whether it was as a super soldier, such as Captain America, or as a crime fighter, as in Batman, or as the superhuman alien savior, as in Superman. Indeed, this era introduced the world to many of the most enduring and famous comic book characters. These include Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Captain Marvel, and Captain America, among others. While the Golden Age refers to this time, it was not known as such during this time period. This era was not referred to as the Golden Age until the April 1960 issue one of Fanzine's comic art, in which Richard Lupoff used the term in an article titled Rebirth. The event which most view as the sparkling of the Golden Age was the debut of Superman in Action Comics number 1 by Detective Comics Inc., which is now DC Comics. Superman became widely popular, and this helped bring about comic books as a major form of publishing. To duplicate the success of Superman, her companies came up with their own variations of superheroes. These companies included Quality Comics, Harvey Comics, and Timely Comics. Between 1939 and 1941, both Detective Comics Inc. and its sister company, All American Publications, introduced a large number of popular and enduring characters. These included Superman, Batman and Robin, Wonder Woman, The Flash, the Green Lantern, the Atom, Hawkman, and Aquaman. These characters still continue to be popular and have gone through numerous reboots and by being portrayed in a variety of different media, including cartoons, feature films, television shows, and video games. During the 1940s, Timely Comics, the predecessor of Marvel Comics, was actively providing its own versions of enduring and popular characters that provided million selling titles. These included Captain America, the Human Torch, and the Submarine. While the above mentioned characters from both DC and Timely are well known and popular even today, according to circulation figures of the time, they were not necessarily the best selling superhero titles of the era. Based on these figures, when it was published once a month, Fawcett Comics' Captain Marvel sold approximately 1.4 million copies per issue, which seemingly makes it the more widely circulated comic book in the United States. At one point, Captain Marvel was published by monthly order to capitalize on its popularity. Other popular characters of the time included Plastic Man by Quality Comics, as well as Spirit, who was a masked detective without superpowers and was created by cartoonist Will Eisner. Spirit was originally published as a syndicated Sunday newspaper inserts that later followed a comic book format. During World War II, many comic books gained immense popularity as they were viewed to be cheap, portable, and easily read tales in which good triumphs over evil. Many heroes were seen battling forces belonging to the Axis powers, and some titles were created for this sole purpose. Captain America was created as a superhuman soldier to fight against Nazi evil. Wonder Woman was the female equivalent fighting the Nazis. Many covers featured heroes fighting Nazi or Japanese forces, and even the March 1941 issue of Captain America Comics number 1 featured the superhero punching Adolf Hitler. Comics during this period were not just limited to the superhero. Many other genres appeared and developed. These included humor, romance, jungle stories, and science fiction. According to the Steranko History of Comics, Volume 2, the non superhero characters published by Dell Comics, licensed characters of Walt Disney, actually outsold the superheroes of the time. Dell Comics features Disney characters such as Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse, and other licensed movie and literary properties. These properties included Western film star Roy Rogers and Edgar Rice Burroughs' Tarzan of the Apes. These titles roped in circulations of over million copies per month. Following the end of World War II, atomic and nuclear themes began to appear in comics. This was first established with the movie serial Atom Man vs. Superman, in which Superman fights a villain named Atom Man. Another facet to arise was that the heroes began to develop their superhuman powers from the exposure to atomic or nuclear radiation. These heroes included Atomic Thunderbolt and Atomin. With the coming of television, the sales of comic books began to decline. Moreover, it was alleged that they were having a harmful effect on the youth. But in 1956, with return of reference for superheroes, began the silver age of comics.